Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This potent mantra was imparted by sage Narada to Prince Dhruva as he headed out for penance in search of truth. And as the story has it, he gained immense energy from that chant. Our next guest today was also asked to write this mantra every day, which he diligently does even today, 32 years later. And he has also derived immense energy by tapping onto the endless source through yoga. And he rightfully named his practice on this mantra as Vasudeva Kriya Yoga. Being a frail and ailing 8-year-old, he got immense relief from yoga, which he learned from his first guru in his village growing up. And at that early age, he made up his mind that he could not be depending on others for his health and decided to practice yoga to keep himself healthy. This young child also realized at that age that his life goal is to achieve something great. Life went through its routine journey. He pursued his engineering degree, and he and his young wife made his way to New Zealand, pursuing greater opportunities. He practiced his limited yoga, but then one chance visit to his university library brought him back into the folds of yoga in a big way. He has since practiced yoga daily. He has been teaching yoga in Melbourne for more than 20 years, and he continues to spread the positive benefits of yoga to one and all. He's surely the most energetic 60-year-olds that I have met, and possibly you as well. And he demonstrated it live to us on this one January morning when he did 324 Surya Namaskaras on a day after a full day of fast, which is Ekadashi, without even food or water, and also having returned from India on the previous day, so in full jet lag mode. That is the 60-year-old energetic person. While Vasudeva Kriya Yoga has started 20 plus years ago in a humble manner in his home, today it has over 20 branches globally, 11 book publications, thousands of students and beneficiaries, and definitely over 1 million asanas combined. Now, our guest is on a mission that can change the way the next generation views healthcare and makes us all responsible citizens who will not burden the healthcare system and take care of ourselves. On a lighter note, so obsessed is he with yoga that his dog is also called Yogi. No surprise. And rightfully so, because he was present throughout this interview, quietly lying down and listening. You can spot him in the last 5 minutes as he takes a quick stretch break, quietly though. Well trained, I must say. Let's meet our next guest on the Cool Karnis, Rajendra Yankanmuliji of Vasudeva Kriya Yoga, Melbourne. Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Cool Karnis. This is your host and host, Sanjeev Kulkarni. Today, I'm honored to have with us a very prominent yoga personality of Melbourne, Rajendra Yankanmuliji.
Yes.
Rajendra ji, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
For our viewers, Rajendra ji, may I request you to please introduce yourself?
And before introducing our Sanjeev Kulkarni, he started a series called as Cool Karni. Cool means what becomes natural to you, which becomes a source of inspiration and strength to you. That is why he started a series called as Cool. Kar means action. Na means strength. What brings you what you tap into to get immense joy and strength? What becomes your source of inspiration? And with that regard, he has come here to talk to me regarding yoga. I have been teaching yoga in Melbourne for more than 2 decades. And many people start on many passions. They can pursue for a year, 2 years, 3 years and drop it off. Some lucky ones, they do not change their passion. They continue through the rest of their life. There are very few. The secret behind any success, you find what is close to your heart and pursue that one.
Yes.
Come what may.
Yes.
Not to give up. And by doing that one, you become someone genius in your own path. I discovered that passion in yoga. And any other passion has limited utility. For example, I'm good in singing. Yes, I can sing well, but yoga is such a passion. It not only helps in keeping me fit, also that passion helps in making others also fit. Yoga is a complete body, mind and soul. Yoga is such a passion. More you do, healthier you become.
Yes.
I am on that track.
Yes, absolutely. And Rajendra ji, I have to start off by saying that
I have a way in which Kulkarnis came about, but you have given a new definition. So I think I'll start using this as a definition of Kulkarnis. But anyways, the way we defined it was to celebrate the cool Karnis. Karni is still the same, it's the doing, but to celebrate the cool Karnis. And the way you have given the definition today, I think it starts with you itself, because you are an embodiment of that you have identified what is it that is driving you, and you're stuck with that passion. But I'll request if we can start the journey right from the start, from your childhood. Can you walk us through or tell us a bit more about your childhood days? Where did you grow up? How were you as a child?
When I was born in a village bordering Karnataka and Kerala. It's in a Kasaragod district. And as a child, I was always not healthy. That vitamin D deficiency, and it's very that whatever. But well, as a child, every day when I play, this part is aching, this part is aching. And my neighbor, I used to go to him every day. He used to apply some oil. And it's from after he comes from office, he used to apply. But I decided I should be strong. That I cannot bank on somebody for my health. Then I started in the early days yoga, gymnastics. They were teaching in the park. It's a free. Sri Yogeshwarji, he's my first yoga teacher. He was doing with passion. Now he's 75 years. Still he is teaching. He's going to schools and teaching. Last month I met him. He still goes by walking few kilometers every day and teaches yoga. He drew me into that one. I was practicing yoga. And
how old were you when this?
It's 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. In that age I started.
So sorry to interrupt you, but I want to get this straight. So at the age of 6, 7 or 8, you got this feeling that you have to become strong yourself. You cannot depend on somebody else.
To look after me.
Wow.
And otherwise, if I bank on somebody, always I'm leaning on somebody to look after me. Look, how important I am, look after me. I decided I should be independent. I should not be banking on others. Then that is the sankalpa, and right from childhood I was had a gut feeling I am here to achieve something great. That I was feeling
something divine.
I'm here not for whiling away time. I'm here to do something extraordinary.
Wow. Yeah. And I can tell you by experience, friends, that this is a message that Rajendra ji always gives us, and we'll uncover that as we progress. But he says that, this one life should not go wasted. Ensure that you achieve things in this life. So continuing from there, so you said you were roughly about 8, but how was it growing up? You had siblings?
No, my elder brother and younger sister.
And, so you're the middle one in a way.
I'm the middleman.
So you're like, how did it work? I mean, were you bullied by the elder brother, or you were more loved because you were the middle kid?
It's among the siblings. Right from childhood, I was interested in spirituality and devotion.
Okay.
Unlike my elder brother or younger sister, they were not too drawn into that one. But right from childhood, I was somehow drawn to the spirituality right from.
Yeah. But Rajendra ji, in this, usually when we see you as a teacher, there is a certain air of seriousness that is around you. But sometimes when we talk, we see the naughty side of you. So were you naughty when you were a kid?
Yes.
That's what we want to know.
Yeah, that always if something wrong happens, they used to blame me.
Oh,
must be I have done, whether I have done or not.
Yeah.
First, they start accusing me first. You must have done.
Okay. But what is the truth now? Please tell us. Did you do it, or were you getting accused because you were the middle one?
No, that sometimes I was. Generally.
So there is some truth to it.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Because like I said, because you can, when you talk to Rajendra ji, you still see a certain amount of naughtiness in him. The wittiness rather more at this stage, but that wittiness comes with some naughtiness. So you can see that. Okay, so that is how you grew up as a child, and at the age of 8, thanks to your Guruji, you got interested in yoga, or was it more fitness in a way? What was that?
It's fitness. He was teaching. What he was teaching, I was drawn to that one.
Okay.
Drawn to that one, yoga, gymnastics, and physical ability.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going back to the point where you said that there was a vitamin D deficiency, or whatever the reason was, but you did feel slightly unfit or unhealthy. Did you see that going away? Or did that continue for a while?
No, it went away. Went away.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So thanks to all these things that you started doing, you saw that going away, that pain, everything.
Going away, yeah. And also that my father was a sole bread earner. Maybe at that time, and the nutrition may not be a top priority at that time. It could be that at that time. it is a malnutrition was maybe predominant at that time. Yeah.
And this is just me thinking out loud as you're saying this. It's not that our they did not want nutrition for the family, but probably those were not the days when people knew that different kid, depending on what challenges they might have, might need different nutrition. Maybe that was not there when we were growing up.
That could be. Yeah.
Fair enough. So how was that after that? I mean, then what was your growing up like? What did you study?
When I got into engineering, I wanted to do medicine. Interested in medicine, I wanted to serve the humanity. I thought medicine is the best profession to serve the humanity, and but divine had a different will, and I am serving the humanity in a higher level than doctors. Even doctors come to me.
Correct.
I thought medicine is the only area you can. Now what I'm doing, even doctors come to me. Yeah.
Yes, that is definitely the interesting part, and we'll surely be hearing a bit more about that. So you did an engineering then?
Engineering in chemical engineering.
Okay.
And I worked in various parts of India for 6 years, and then moved on to New Zealand, and I did masters in engineering and MBA. Then moved on to Australia.
So that's another Rajendraji. One thing I've seen as a theme so far in our episode of the Cool Karnis is that all of us have a certain stereotype. Maybe it was the time we grew up in India, or maybe just in general, that all of us fit that stereotype in a way where you start as a student in either a village or a city is secondary, but eventually you will make your way towards an engineering or something in the IT or something of that nature. Then you want to get out of the country. So that level of a stereotype, most of us tick the box. But then there are a few like you who kind of shift that stereotype or kind of parallelly do things. So that again, thank you for clarifying that. And I want to call out to our viewers that yes, here is another stereotype in that sense, but the journey that Rajendraji took from here on is what makes it interesting. So New Zealand, how did New Zealand happen? Was it popular in those days to New Zealand as a country because everybody wanted to go to US, UK in those days?
No, this getting to, I wrote GRE and TOEFL like most of us, and it's again a divine wish. I did not get through a good university with a scholarship. So getting into Australia was a long process. So applied for residency in New Zealand, I got it. So I went to New Zealand. I tried for a job. I went to Christchurch where I knew someone. And Christchurch, small town, I did not get a job. Then got on to university to study. Then in New Zealand, job opportunities were limited. Then migrated to Australia along with my wife Sumana's job. She found a job in Adelaide. I moved to Adelaide, and from there Melbourne. Yeah.
Life has taken you places.
Places. Yeah.
So Kasaragod, would that be considered as Kerala, or would that be Kerala?
Bordering.
So from Kerala to Karnataka, so you crossed one border.
Yeah.
Then you come to New Zealand, you cross another border, come to Australia.
Right, yeah.
Okay. It's always about stretching the borders.
Stretching.
Okay. So how was New Zealand? How was the New Zealand life?
New Zealand is a fantastic place. It's more of a retirement village, but I could not have done what I have been doing here. It's a limited opportunity. It's a holidaying place. You can holiday and relaxed life. And but to do beyond, it's Australia, Melbourne. Melbourne is a bigger place. I could do in New Zealand. I could not have done what I'm doing here, but it's a fantastic place. As a tourist, you can go there, relax there, and enjoy the time here. And limited opportunities.
So the sadhana that you wanted to do was destined to happen here as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But your yoga journey was continuing through all this?
Yeah, yoga in New Zealand, that is why that every step, there is a reason why I went in 1996 in Student Union building. I saw a poster, Paramahamsa Maheshwananji is coming to Christchurch to give a talk on yoga. It appealed to me. I attended his talk. Then that yoga word rekindled, and from there yoga that I attended, and he blessed me, he initiated me, and from there whatever dormant tendencies I had, it got rekindled.
It's almost a 30-year journey.
Yeah, 30-year journey.
But between what you learned as an 8-year-old through your first guru till 1996, were you actively active, or I don't want to say yoga, but were you active? Were you fit? Did you do something for fitness?
Yeah. It's every day I was doing stretching, bending, chakrasana, those things I was doing.
All those you were still doing.
But when I met my Swamiji, it's a methodical. Earlier it was all over the place, not much of theory, and here systematic Basically, I learned here.
So you started learning through Swamiji when that Christchurch.
Christchurch, yeah. That I started referring to books and what it means, why asana, why pranayama, why bandha, why mudras, meditation. Those things, I read a lot of books from many teachers, many lineages, and got connected here.
And is that when you did your, is there some form of a formal course or a training or a assessment that you have to go through to become a yoga teacher?
No, I didn't do any. It's for me. I do not have yoga teachers training certificate. I do not have, and I did not go to any formal learning and no formal certificate. But it came naturally while I was in Adelaide. I met Swami Ramaswarupananji from Himalaya. He came to Adelaide. And when we moved to Australia in 2001, I organized his program in Brunswick, in Swami Vivekananda Yoga Center. They had one. I organized his program on yoga. He started talking on yoga for 5 minutes, and he got off the stage and said, "Now our Rajendra ji will continue."
He just said that?
Yeah, he started only 5 minutes. He got off the stage. Now on, he will continue.
And you had no idea about it?
No idea. I was pushed to that one. From there, it's unfolded.
Yeah. So in a way, they say that a guru sees that spark in you before you do yourself. This seems to be an example of that.
Example. And many times, people tell, our parents tell, elders tell, you can do. But we don't have trust in their words. Though they say, we don't take it seriously.
Correct.
For example, you tell your children you can do, but parents see that one, but children may not pick up. When the student is ready, when that spark, that it triggers.
Yeah. So, wow. So this is 2001.
2001.
And 24 years since then, this journey has been non-stop for you.
Non-stop. And
And there is one more point in my head, but I'll come back to that in a while. Is that when Vasudeva Kriya Yoga started?
No, Vasudeva Kriya Yoga, I started in 2003, we started Vasudeva Kriya Yoga. And the reason in 1993, when I left India, my father's ex-colleague, it's a spiritual person, he asked me to write Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva every day. Before leaving New Zealand, he gave me that one. He told, every day write Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And I took it seriously. Since then, since 1993, I've been writing every day. Yeah. Now also,
even now you write.
Even now I write, and I would have written more than 1 crore times, 10 million times I would have written. The power of mantra. Power of mantra. I've been writing, and in New Zealand in 2003, that while driving in the stud road, the intuition, I was doing the japa on this one. How about coin with pranayama? That spark came. I could not drive. I had to take exit through the by lane, service lane. I had to stop the car to absorb what that message was. What the message was, and from there it should be Vasudeva Kriya Yoga. Yeah. It's that mantra is written, and from there I had to stop for a while to absorb. And
if you don't mind me, Guruji, can I pause you there and ask you to explain about that mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate? It's a very powerful and a potent mantra.
Yeah, it's a few days before in the meditation, I had a vision of Narada Muni, and he also said Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. And this spark you combine with pranayama and teach. In the while driving, that came, it coincided with my vision I had, Narada Muni, and what in India 1993 he told me, everything got aligned. Aligned, and this yoga is said, I should not call it as a Rajendra yoga or another yoga. It is connected
Vasudeva.
To, it's a Bhagavan Vasudeva. That from there, inner meaning of that one who is there within everyone is Vasudeva. It is yoga is for connecting to the innermost of you, not outside. Most innermost what is there it is Vasudeva. For example, Vishnu Sahasranama starts with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and it ends with Vanamali Gadi Shanki Shanki Chakri Chanandaki Sriman Narayano Vishnu Vasudevo Birakshatu. Starting Vasudeva, ending with Vasudeva, that is the summary of Vishnu Sahasranama also. Vasudeva, that Bhagavad Gita also talks about Vasudeva Sarvamiti Saha Mahatma Sudurlabha. One who sees the presence of Vasudeva, that type of people are very rare. It is that concept runs through in our Shastra, Vasudeva. This Vasudeva yoga I am teaching also, it is a divine, it is not just a physical yoga, it is connected to the divinity. That is why I called it as a divinity in yoga.
I have actually many questions bubbling up, but I'll take this as a cue to go to our logo itself. I'll be sharing a picture of this as well with all of you. We see Om in the middle, we see the 7 layers, and then we have Jivema Sharada Shatam. Can you explain that a bit, because it's very powerful and has a strong message in it as well?
And this our Sanjeev ji, he said 7 colors. It is a big broyer, the 7 colors of sun, rainbow colors. From the red is the Muladhara chakra. From there, Swadhisthana chakra, it comes yellow color. Then the Manipura chakra, it's then blue color, Anahata, and the green, blue, violet, indigo. Indigo and violet and Om, it's a vibroyer color. And Jivema Sharadarshatam, live in bliss Jivema Sharadarshatam. Every day, as a part of Sandhya Vandana, there is a mantra. You have to say that one looking at the sun. Sun is a source of light, sun is a source of health, sun is a source of long life. That is why that Surya Namaskar also yesterday we did. We are praying to the sun, bless me with good eyesight so that I see for 100 years. Able to see for good things for 100 years, hear good things, talk good things. Jivema, may I live in bliss for 100 years. Not living, it's in coma. Live in joy for 100 years. Celebrate life for 100 years. May there be, it's a Jivema, that is yoga. Yoga is not only good for you, you should live such a way that you are of value for others for 100 years. That is the Jivema Sharadarshatam.
I'll come to the part of what he's talked about Surya Namaskara in a bit. When you teach or talk about yoga, Rajendra ji, or let me take half a step back here. Typically, especially since we live in Australia and the Western world, yoga is now becoming more and more prevalent, prominent, understood, but it is still seen as a form of exercise. So it is at a body level. There are yoga schools. In fact, I would say most of the yoga schools, when you get deeper into it, you'll realize that it is about body and mind. Because if you have a stable mind, your body is also in control and it works that way. But you, at least in my limited understanding, for the first time were the one who introduced soul in the mix of this. Can you explain that? Body, mind, soul.
And
why soul?
Yeah, you mentioned in the West, Australia. It is not only Australia. It is common in India also. India, gym culture is becoming prominent. It's a body-oriented body. It's good to look after your body, but not to limit yourself to the body. You are not just the body, you are beyond the body. What enables your body is the mind. And what enables your mind, for example, Australia, 40% of youths have depression, mental health issues.
True.
What enables? They have a good body. What enables their mind? Beyond the mind. Mind is intellect. That's where the mind is getting the nourishment. Our intellect. What inspires your mind? What inspires your intellect? For that every day we do the Gayatri mantra. Dhiyo yona prachodaya. May my intellect be illumined so that may that reflection of that one enable my mind. What illumines your intellect? It is the ultimate Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord, He illumines even your intellect. So, and not to limit yourself, body and mind. And in the West, they talk about mindfulness. Mindfulness, yes, that is a concept they are using if they do not want to use the word yoga. But beyond the mind, what illumines your mind? What illumines your intellect? Beyond that one, for example, if I'm fast asleep, my mind, I can't hear anything. Mind stops working. I can't think, but still I am alive. And if I wake up, gone into deep sleep, when I wake up, I still know who I am. Next day, I will pursue the same thing. Who sustains my trait? I won't start all over again every day. Something is sustaining me. Who's sustaining me to think on the same line? Who's that? That is soul, that we call as a divinity. Divinity, and many people, they say there is no soul. There is only when you die, there is no soul. And what comes out, what goes into the body. When somebody dies, they say soul has left. And when somebody dies, they don't call this one as a person dies, they don't call this that body as Rajendra. They call Rajendra's body.
Correct.
So it is body is inert, jada. In Hindi or English, they say adu, that usko hatao. And that
he becomes that.
He becomes that inert. What that makes, converts that into that person. That person, that is the soul. And we have to, we are busy pampering the body. But soul is parched. Soul is sulking. Yoga says, nourish the soul also, because of which this body has come. Because of which this body has come. And if you are not only pampering your body, for which this body has come, that purpose of life is unfulfilled. So yoga says, a type of body you get because of that soul associated with karma. So cater the root cause, and others will get catered.
It's interesting because in a way, when you think of it, this gives you a sense of purpose. Not that if you just take it as an exercise or just mindfulness, not that it is any bad. It's still good, because a medicine at the end of the day is medicine. Whether you know why you're taking the medicine or not, it will still do what it has to do to you. But when you know why you're doing it, there is a sense of completeness in us. I know that, I'm heading in this direction. This is why I'm doing this. And I think from experience, I can say that the last part of what we do in our yoga practice typically is the one that really enriches the soul. It calms you down at that level. And that is, I found that is very unique in what you taught us. So thank you for explaining that soul aspect of yoga to us.
And nice top point you mentioned. When you know what you are doing, it makes you strong. In Upanishad, they say, Yadeva vidyaya karoti shraddhaya upanishadam tadeva viryavattaram bhavati. You become so strong when you know the importance, know the meaning.
Correct.
When you understand, you become very strong. If I do not know why, then it becomes mechanical.
Correct.
When you know the significance and having known that one, you become very strong.
And mentally, physically, in every which way. Perfect. Rajendra ji, see, I'm even calling you as Vasudeva ji. That's how much we associate you as Vasudeva Kriya Yoga. Rajendra ji, it's obvious or evident even to our listeners and viewers now that not only are you well versed in yoga, but you are also well versed in shastras. We can see that how you're quoting. How did that journey start? Was it in parallel or much before, or that's from your parents? So how did that Shastra journey start?
Shastra journey in the 8th standard for the first time, our annual day, school annual day, they started off with the invocation prayer, Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha. When they did that invocation, immediately I knew, yes, I know this mantra. For the first time I am hearing that I had somewhere you left over in the previous life, it starts.
So you had never heard that mantra?
Never, for the first time, it is wherever I left past, it came naturally. And Purvabhyasena te naiva hriyate avashopi saha. Bhagavad Gita says, whatever you do in the past life, in the next life, it comes naturally to you. What you say, Kulkarni, it's whatever you do in this life, it won't end in one life. Whatever you do with the passion, and Shri Krishna says, you do, there is no lose. You are not a loser. Good things you do, wherever you stop. Arjuna asked the question, what happens if I die? Is it not a total waste? Shri Krishna says, whatever you do, good things, it is never a waste. It is never a waste. You naturally pick up. Correct. You run with that one. That is, I am the example of that one. and Shastras, I had affinity for that one, that things starts coming in. I did not go to any Gurukuls, and now when I go to India, many Gurukul PhD professors, they attend my class. They say we teach Shastra, Vyakarana and other Vedas, but we never understand. How you were explaining last week, I was in Om Shanti Dham on the 19th, 18th and 19th in Bangalore on the bank of Kaveri. It is a school dedicated for going deep into our Shastra. 4,000 Panini Sutras. Students, they memorize without referring to the book. Panini Sutra, Patanjali, Mahabhashya. Everyone is an expert. There's a Rigveda, 10,000 mantras, they say without referring to the book. Yajurveda. And even professors, they say, we have been teaching for years, but how you explained, you opened up the meaning of Vedas. You went deep into the roots of Vedas. Vedas, so that it's wherever you, whatever you do, it won't end with that one.
Correct.
It will come naturally. That the inner meaning of Shastras, even they acclaim that I am revealing the inner dimension of Vedas and Upanishad also.
In that, absolutely. So again, a couple of things going on. I want to bring this back to Vasudeva Kriya Yoga and the start. But before that, I want to maybe request for the sake of our viewers as well. You briefly touched upon Patanjali Ji. So if you can help us understand the importance of Patanjali Ji in the scheme of yoga, because yoga, I believe, is eternal. It's not that Patanjali Ji might have started it, but he has a very important role. And associated with that, I have a question. I'll ask that once you have introduced Patanjali Ji to us.
And Patanjali and yoga, it's Sri Krishna says, yoga is given by me. First I gave it to sun, from there it gave to Manu, from there Ikshvaku. Yoga parampara, it is continuing. Whenever yoga is on decline, I appear again to bring the yoga back.
So just to clarify here, that when he said sun, it means the sun as in the Surya.
Imam vivasvate yogam proktavanaham avyayam. Vivaswan, and from there, from the sun's sun is Manu, from there Ikshvaku. It comes, yoga is divine. In Vishnu Sahasranama, another name of name is Vyogo, Yoga Vidam, Neta, another name of God. So Patanjali Rishi, he stressed our 3 dimension. Usually we say Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacham Malam Sharirasya cha Vaidyakena Yopakarotam Pravaram Muninam Yogena Chittasya. Patanjali 196 sutras, he did not elaborate on only 2-3 shlokas, he talked about asana. Mainly 196 sutras, he talked about how to look after your mind. Raja Yoga, this is the king. How to look after the mind. When this is enabled, how you can accomplish great things. Yogena Chittasya. And he talked about Padena Vacham, Panini Sutra. He gave an elaborate commentary on the grammar, how to express. You should be able to talk in modulation so that it's appealing to hearing also. If it is a monotonous voice, people may fall sick. Sleepy. And if it is some people, when they talk, you don't feel like hearing. Some people, when they talk, you want to pay attention. There is a fire in the speech, fiery speech. He talked about yoga, Padena Vacham, and Malam Sharirasya cha. He also did commentary on Ayurveda. How to purify the body, how to purify the mind, and how to purify your talk. For that, Patanjali, Apapa karotam, one who purifies us in 3 level, mind, body and talking level. To that Patanjali, our salutation. Trikarana, you exist in 3 ways: what you think, what you speak, what you do. These 3 dimension, you should be brilliant.
So in a way, while yoga has come down through the disciplic succession through Vivaswan or the sun, and then his son as in his child Manu, and so on. But is it right to say that perhaps in this form, as a teacher, Patanjali has been the first teacher of yoga to everyone in terms of how to interpret, how to understand it?
And yes, earlier yoga in all ashrams, Patanjali, yes, he's one of the foremost teachers. There is many yoga shastras, Veda Vyasa has written, but so succinctly 196 sutras, the Patanjali is one, the 196 sutras, that Yoga Sutras Patanjali has brought about. Yeah.
So is it, maybe this is an open question, and this is the second question I was referring to. Most of your yoga, Vasudeva Kriya Yoga, as well as some of the others that we know, do they all originate from Patanjali in some ways, or they have different sources they might be tapping on?
And as you said, most of the yoga schools are body oriented. This mind, talking and body, most of them are stuck in the body level. Body level. And the next one is meditation. And here what you think, you are able to talk also. So to enable this one, the sattvic food governs this one, able to talk. Most of the yoga schools are body oriented. Asana part only that 3 sutras are there in Patanjali, but other Hatha Yoga Pradipika, they are the recent addition about 400 years back. Swatma Rama and other one Gheranda Samhita, other is Shiva Samhita. They are mainly dealing with the body oriented, how to keep the body ailment free, how to purify the body. If you have a sinus problem, that one, how to purify this one. There are other texts, it deals with the body. Patanjali doesn't talk much about the body problems. Other texts are there, but foremost Patanjali.
Okay. Thank you for giving us that background. Now we'll bring it back to 2003, Vasudeva Kriya Yoga. So please walk us through that journey again. So you pulled over the car on the side and you got that inspiration about Vasudeva Kriya Yoga. What happened after that?
Then we started teaching in our home in Rowville, and few friends came over, and we outgrew. Then we moved to the nearby school in Rowville, and we outgrew. Then another center we started in Doncaster, Mulgrave, and slowly we started expanding, and most of my weekends were spent on yoga. Saturday 2-3 sessions, Sunday couple of sessions. Yeah.
So I want to set a few things in perspective for our viewers and listeners. First and foremost, we are talking of 2003, which is now about 22 years. Even if you say 21 years ago. The class that he's referring to in Karu Primary School has been consistently going on since then, every Sunday. This runs only during school terms. So those of you who understand the Australian system, the school has 3 breaks and 1 long break. So during school breaks, we don't go there. But during non-school times, every Sunday, 21 years at a stretch, the class has been happening.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah. So that is one thing. Second thing, and we'll come to that slightly, but I just want this to be at the back of your mind, that 21 years ago, Rajendra ji was still, his family was pretty young by then. He had probably Amrut, his son would have been maybe 4 or 5 at best. So this is starting from that perspective. So I want you to understand that without fail, 21 years doing this on a regular basis. So we'll touch upon that, but bear that at the back of your mind. So coming back to the point, so that is how the first school started.
Yeah.
And you have some students who have consistently been coming more or less since then.
Yes, this
since 21 years. And I'm tempted to ask this, but one of them is probably, she's quite aged and senior, but she has been a regular student.
Nargis ji. Yeah, Nargis ji. She started about 15 years back. She's 87 years. Still, she's regular. And she's a source of inspiration for others also.
Absolutely. The reason I'm bringing that out, dear friends, is that there is no real starting age for such things. She's 87 now. She started 15 years ago. That is, she was definitely 71, 72. One would say that that's the age when all kinds of ailments have started. What new are you going to start? But she started yoga at that age. And even now, we have all had an experience with Nargis ji. She's an inspiration because she, at this age, she's fairly independent, lives and takes care of herself alone. It's a big thing. I see my mother do the same thing. She's 76. Sometimes I feel that, why is it that she refuses to have any support at home? She's pretty adamant. I don't want any maid, nothing like that. And I feel a bit upset. But then I feel that why should I be feeling upset? Look at her, she's able to independently manage everything. I should be proud of her. And that's when I feel that, yes, I am proud of her because of this reason, that she's able to be independent and take care of everything by herself. I would say that in many ways, the reason I brought that point up and I want to tie it back is the many ways in which the teachings that we hear from Rajendra ji kind of inspire that in us, that we also have to become like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Cut to 2003, you start the school. There are many accomplishments that have happened through the way, but help us understand, how does the journey of growth come? How were you, if I could use the term, propagating yoga? Were you even doing that, by the way? Were you trying to propagate yoga, or it just started spreading?
It started, inspired people started coming along. Most of our teachers are having another profession, and we are not paying any teachers. They are doing as a secondary job. Out of passion they are doing, and all the money we raised, we gave it to the community. With that, people, many teachers, professionals, they came from various background, they joined along, and through those inspired teachers, we could able to reach out to the wider community. In India also, India is Bharat is my Janma Bhumi, had an obligation to give it back to the place where I was born. In Bangalore, we started our own center, our own proper building also is there, Janma Bhumi. This is Karma Bhumi. We have in Runa. Runa means we have an obligation to contribute to the place you have come from, contribute to the place we are living in. So I am discharging both, trying to inspire the people back in where I was born, Bangalore, grew up, and I am contributing to the community here. More than helping others, I am helping myself to keep myself on the track. If I had yoga is not there in my life, I would have whiled away my time in holidaying, that picnic, this picnic, weekend parties. My life would have ebbed away in socializing without any meaningful achievement. Yoga helped me to stay focused and helped me to myself to add value to my own personal life.
Yeah.
It is helping me more than others.
I wanted to come to this point later, but you have given me a cue, so let me ask it anyways. I mentioned the point that your family was pretty young at that time. 2003, Amrit would have been maybe 4 years old.
4 years, yeah.
He has been coming with you since that time, isn't it?
Yes.
And of course, if I talk to Subhanaji, I might get a different perspective, but I won't. But at least what I have seen, I've seen that you have not really compromised. I mean, there is a certain amount of compromise, of course, like the way you called out, it's a wake-up call for all of us, that the social life, you have not whiled away your time there. But that doesn't mean you're socially non-present.
Yeah.
You have a social presence as well. How do you balance that? You're not giving up that either, but you have pulled a balance somewhere. And how was the family support for you in this journey?
Yes.
Or how it has been? It's still going on.
And it depends on how strong you are with your commitment. When you know what you're doing is a greater good, then you stay strong. And many people, whole weekend, many people, they say, you have come to Australia, it's a time to enjoy. It's Aishkar, enjoy. But there is... when I discovered the higher possibilities in my life, I stuck to this one, and socializing also limited where it is important, not against any other function. For example, somebody's house, some puja is there, I can go and sit the whole day. Puja starts at 8 o'clock and 1 o'clock, goes up to 1 o'clock, have lunch and come back home at 4 o'clock. So you say from morning 8 to 4 o'clock, 8 hours has gone. I'm sitting there, and most of us, we say we go to puja and we get punya. We are satisfied with, we got punya by just attending, and but innerly, when you practice and give something to others, the joy you get is far higher than spending 8 hours. The punya is nothing but amount of joy, happiness you experience personally by doing. It's you have some skills when you are sharing with others. It is coming from your heart, not a lip service. The amount of joy you get from within, that is called as punya. Punya. But for us, most of us, we go to that temple function, this function, that socializing. Whole weekend has gone, and if I do not go, my host will be upset. My friends will be upset. We are so focused on making others happy by compromising our own happiness. The most important person in this world is you, not your friends, not your family members. Like in an aeroplane, before putting on the oxygen mask onto others, put onto yourself. We are so busy making others happy, we never cared about ourselves.
True.
Look after when you're happy, then only you can give happiness to others.
Yeah.
You can't give happiness to others if this is not there. That is on that basis, I stuck to what I've been doing.
Fantastic. And this itself is a big lesson. I'm saying from my personal experience that there are probably people who sometimes find joy in others' joy. We're not trying to move or shake away anybody, but have a look sometimes. I think what he said should resonate very strongly. There are many times that we probably try to do this because of social norms, because what will the other person think. I think this is an important lesson that sometimes, or rather most of the times, we have to think of ourselves first. If we are not happy, how can we make others happy?
For example, on the 25th of December, my brother's son's wedding was there in Bangalore. And I was there anyway in wedding early morning, that everyone procession starts at 7:30 or whatever. But I could have been there attending, but what I did the previous night, around 11 o'clock, I went back to my yoga center. I took morning yoga 6 to 7 and I attended. I came back to wedding venue just before the event had happened.
Wow.
So for most of us, my brother's son's wedding is important.
Correct.
It's ultimate. For me, my happiness is giving something to others. Otherwise, I'm attending, yes, a good costume, good breakfast, and my brother would have been happy. When I told my brother I did that one, he was proud.
Yeah.
You stand for something.
Yes.
Most of us, we don't stand for anything. We don't stand for, and he was very happy. He was telling others also. He did not compromise on what he stood in for his life.
You gave me another. What is happening here, friends, is that I have a few set of things I want to ask him, but he's preempting me and is making me ask it. So I'll ask it now anyways, right? And you can elaborate later if you want. I'm really keen to understand, how do you fit time around everything? So I also want to call out one thing here, that when 2001, 2003, 2000 later is all happening, you have had a full-time job.
Yes.
You're a family man, so you have responsibilities typically that happen in a family. And Sumana ji, Rajendra ji's wife, is also a full-time career woman. So it's not like, she is a housewife who can take care of the house. How are you balancing all this? What did a day in a life look like for you?
When the interest is there, things will fall in line. And when you have so passionate, everything falls in line. When you're not very intensely passionate, but Patanjali talks about Tivra Sanvegana Asana, intensely energetic. 24 hours a day, everyone has a 24 hours. 24 hours, like for example, from here to India, you can, aeroplane, it takes about 12-14 hours to travel, or I can get onto the ship, it takes 3 months. In our lifetime, we can cruise along or get onto, take the quickest way to take. There are many distractions in life. When you're so intensely energetic, distractions won't, you won't get distracted by it's a false calls. False calls. You are so focused.
So slightly digressing, keeping in mind the season that we are in Australia. So tennis, cricket, nothing. Are you aware of what is happening in that world? Or?
No, I see the news. The cricket, yes, I was playing cricket, very passionate, and I started thinking, they are playing, game is for joy. Any cricket, the players are playing for joy. Any sport, it is for their joy. They are getting the money. And why I should sit in front of the television ball by ball for 5 days, they are getting money, they are getting joy, and I'm wasting my time. It is. And I started rationalizing. It's yes, I can sit in front of the television with a pack of chips and coffee, ball by ball, but I can do something better. Better.
And that's clearly an example of how one has to prioritize. I think that's really what I'm seeing. So I honestly was hoping I'll get an answer that I have no interest in all that. But clearly you're aware of what is happening around you.
Yeah.
But you are just not going to, for the lack of a better term, while your time on it. You will keep yourself informed. that's there somewhere, but you keep progressing on the yoga journey. Fantastic.
And yoga practice, it is not that you are cut off from the society. You should know what is happening macro level, micro level, everything you are aware, but stay focused on your path. You should know global level what is happening, which country, what is happening, what sports, everything. You should be well informed. You are not isolating yourself from everything, and stay informed and apply what is right. It's the best practices. Bring out the best practices, whatever happening, and in your personal life. Yes, many great achievers are there in sports, in other areas. And for example, tennis, Djokovic also, that stay focused. How he is 10 times our Australia or Grand Slam winner, that same process. He knew that not to get here, there, stay focused.
He does talk about yoga, by the way.
Yeah, he is yoga, stay focused. That is the secret of success in any field. Field, yeah.
Fantastic. So I want to go back to that question of your day in the life once again, because weekend, one can understand that, you're able to prioritize yoga over everything else. Weekday, typically work will and has taken priority for you as well. But that doesn't mean you don't have yoga as a part of your sadhana. And how do you fit that into the scheme of things? Because we have not come to this point, but I'm going to preempt or put this in. You are writing a book, right? There are so many things that are happening in parallel, and you're able to compartmentalize your day. Is there something you want to kind of guide us on how you did that, or some message for us into how to do it?
And whenever new ideas came, I used to write down. Otherwise, ideas slip out. However good is your memory, I used to write down. It's for me, any idea comes, if I start typing, naturally flow will come and join. I can make a talk out of that one. One idea is enough. So focused, it will flow on. And last 5-6 years, 7 years back, I was thinking how long I can keep on working. Always there is a need. My colleagues, ex-colleagues, they were saying that one person, 72 years, he was saying that for my retirement, I need a bit more. Even 72 years.
In terms of money?
Yeah, in terms of money. I need a bit more. When is enough? Always we aspire to have one more extra dollar. One more extra dollar. But I was thinking, how can I keep on that? When should I say enough is enough? Enough is enough, and focus on what I'm good at. I was thinking I should find a right moment. In 2022, my employer said you can continue, otherwise there is an option for you to move on. I took it's a divine blessing, and always I could have found another job to get one more extra dollar. But for me, this is more important. This is more than a dollar. And since then, I'm fully dedicated to yoga. And the passion I have been taking this message to the children also, small children, 4-5 years leadership training I'm running, and old age home I'm taken to the federal parliament, Victorian parliament, and this
prison
message
in India,
prisons in India. It's not just a belief, my personal experience also. Yoga is a need of the day. And everyone, I tell everyone, all listeners, everyone must have 2 jobs. Your normal job, it will carry you, say you start your career at the age of 22 and go up to 55, 60. That profession, however passionate you are, as we are aging, your youngsters will try to push you out. They say you move on, give us an opportunity. And you need to have another one where you are irreplaceable. Your own passion. You should, when the point will come in your profession, you are no longer required by your employer or colleague, or even if you are working only making money, even the family members also, your money won't bring you lasting respect. True. The time you need to switch on to the passion where you are not dependent on others for your self-motivation, self-inspiration. Everyone must have 2 jobs simultaneously. When this comes, you move on to the other one that continues till your end. with the joy, you should be very proud of what you have done in your life. Beyond your material accomplishment, what something you are proud of, your unique fingerprint, what you are good at, you have accomplished. I urge all the listeners, do not compromise on. Your life is not only for working for somebody for material gain. Look after what your passion is, something inner craving is there. Fulfill that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to draw a very awkward parallel, but apologies. But every time we see Madhvacharya having two, maybe this is another meaning that I'll start taking from it from now on. Of course, it is a Dvaita, but this is the second one that, where one is the main job, but don't forget that, you need to have something else that will keep going on forever.
Going. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And recently I had a yoga retreat. I asked people suppose now Sanjeev is say 50 years. I do not know his age. If I have a clock, I wind down Sanjeev. He is now 40 years. Now he is 30 years. He is 20 years. He is 10 years. He is 5 years. He is 1 year. Now I unwind Sanjeev and I will ask, will you follow the same trait or would you follow any other trait? And many said, I would rather go do something else.
Yes,
and,
I'm one of them too.
Yeah, you do something else. So, what is that? That is your inner craving. We have not fulfilled that one. We have busy the outside, that part. You be aware of that one.
Correct.
Yeah.
I can't help but say this again, listeners, that this again in a way summarizes Kulkarnis, because that is exactly what we are talking of. As a stereotype, all of us have started in a certain path. Nothing wrong with it if you enjoy it, please. But all of us have that something else that we are trying to do, which sometimes is just a weekend passion. But I think that's what Rajendra ji is talking about, that figure out what that is and start feeding that, give that air, let that grow, start in that journey as well, because that is what will continue. That is what will energize you in a way.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Absolutely. I want to take this back to the point of the book. You have written a book which has obviously gone through editions, and there is a second book coming. Can you enlighten us a bit about those two?
11 books.
Okay. My God, where am I?
And one is Divinity in Yoga with asana part, mudra, pranayama, and it's physical, mental, and spiritual. And Life Sutra series 1 to 6, I have written Surya Namaskar. And last year I realized Arise, Awake, and Realize book. And the third one this year, a couple of months back, last month, I released another book, Aim High, Achieve Great, Live Beyond Your Shelf Life. Any product, if you see in the market, in the shelf, in the supermarket, it is there is two things: best before, expiry date. This also has best before and expiry date. You do before your best before. If you think you will do at the age of 80, I can't stand up. My best before has gone. So I live as a drag on the society. Whatever you want to do, best before you do. Many products, many people, the type of people, one is forgotten while they are alive. Second one, they will be forgotten as soon as they die. Third one, they continue to live after their physical life. How to do that one? We all must aspire to live beyond our shelf life. Shelf life. So in we go to temple and the priest, they ask, what is your gotra? Gotra is nothing but from where you are getting inspiration. What is the source of your inspiration? You can't say, I don't have gotra. What is the source? If you are so inspired, if you are living beyond your shelf life, your grandchildren, great-grandchildren will say, I am from that family. I'm so proud that I am come from that family, that lineage. How can I live that way? So that my children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren will remember. Most of us, in yoga class, I asked one of the one child, what's your grandfather's name? That child said, I don't know. Is it important? Is it important? So that grandfather lived such a life, your grandchild doesn't think it is worth remembering that person's name. It is most of our cases are like that. And how to live beyond your shelf life. beyond your shelf life, that we have to aspire. When you aim high, when you have that much of vision, and when you achieve great things in your life, undoubtedly you live beyond your shelf life. That is the fulfillment of human life.
That's what we should all aim for.
That is everyone should aim for. And how can I live beyond my shelf life?
So I don't mean this in a negative way, but now I can understand that from 2022 onwards, if you have taken a break, you probably have a bit more time to do this. Sorry, I'm going back to that question again. When you were actually working, you said you would write down these ideas, but how was the discipline about actually writing a book? I'll come back to this book that you called out, but I want our viewers also to get this in their head, that how do you get to that discipline of writing every day? Did you have some discipline you followed?
Every day, half an hour I had to write.
You had to write?
I'd write.
Okay. And then, of course, you'll go through revisions, editions of it and so on, but every day, half an hour compulsively, you had to write. So you are not one where you would say that 3 days I'll lock myself and I'll write today.
No, yeah.
So that is a discipline.
That is the discipline.
And that is one thing I've always observed in you, Rajendra. There is a certain discipline you always follow. Is that something which yoga taught you? Or would you say that you were the same when you were the 8-year-old, when you were the 17-year-old in school? Were you always disciplined, or did yoga bring in something special?
I think yoga made me more focused, disciplined.
Okay.
It gave the direction. Otherwise, sometimes here, sometimes there. And I stuck to the yoga, that discipline it brought in.
And you are able to compartmentalize your life that way, saying X time to X time is my morning sadhana, done. Now I move to this, now I move to this.
Yeah, that's right.
So you are able, you don't see drags happening.
No. Yeah.
And when you are in this compartment, you're not thinking of the other.
No, that whatever I do, I relate to yoga. That in Dinaya, Minnews, whatever I do, I relate to yoga. Yoga. That how it can be. Like intense yoga class we take every morning 6 to 7. Things come naturally to me. No two classes are the same. And if I become a college professor, for example, they have syllabus to talk. Same syllabus year after year they will be talking. It's a so boring class. First chapter, first class, this one, second class, the professor cannot be creative. For me, a creative person, I create a syllabus. I don't follow a syllabus. A creative person is the one sets the path for others to follow. Ordinary person follows the path laid by others. You follow create a path for others to follow. Yeah.
Very interesting. And clearly you have been doing that, because if you attend any one of Rajendraji's classes, and we'll come to that in a bit, the yoga center has expanded significantly. Rajendraji takes some classes, his teachers take some classes. But with Rajendraji's classes, there is always a certain, for the lack of a better time, I'll say lecture, because it's not lecture in the purest sense of what a professor might do, but it is a talk, let's put it that way. And every time you talk of something new. So you're saying that is something that comes to you as a flash, or you have it planned that this time I want to say this, or is it more a flash, or is some...
No, that idea dawns. For example, this class is starting on this Sunday. I have no clue what I'm going to talk. Every day now, from 2-3 days after, I'll start thinking, what should I? There's some idea, some word come to my mind. I start thinking and elaborate on that.
Elaborate on that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Let's come back to Vasudeva Kriya Yoga again. From what started in 2003 as that journey, today you have 18, 19 different...
Maybe 20 plus 20 in America, plus. India, and,
Australia, Melbourne, all put together.
Yeah.
So in terms of countries, there is India. Where in India is it?
Bangalore, Girinagar. Bangalore.
Okay.
Bangalore, and here in America, in Chicago, and here in Australia, many places.
In Australia, about 18, more than Melbourne as well, right? Outside Melbourne too?
No, around Melbourne, around 24, 25 centers. I take Bhagavad Gita class, Upanishad class, and also ask me a question series online. People can ask me a question, and it will be recorded. And
fantastic. And to all our viewers, we'll be putting this information as well as part of the notes. So if you're interested, you should be reaching out to Vasudeva Kriya Yoga and find out where all these centers and classes are happening. But that is where we sit at today. From that journey to 25 plus classes internationally going on. How was that journey? How did that incrementally happen? Was that a vision you had, or this kind of kept unfolding as you progressed?
It started unfolding as I progressed. And yoga, that I tell other students also, yoga should not become my own stress, source of my stress. I enjoy what I'm doing, and it's it is not a stress. Not a stress. I enjoy what I'm doing.
What you're doing.
And also, not only I enjoy, we give joy to others' lives. We contribute to the wellness of the global health, monetary and spiritually. We do. We have more than 2,000 YouTube videos, more than 10 publications book in the book form. And we do events, workshops. Whenever there is a long weekend is there, we are doing that one also.
Yeah. And to our viewers, I'd also like to say that you can subscribe to the periodic newsletter that comes out, which gives you a holistic sense of what is happening in VKY. It has now since gone from just being yoga to many other things, that you're doing the Himalayan visits. Is there something you'd like to share about that?
This is the sixth time we are going to Himalayas. Himalayas is the birthplace of yoga. Our rishis, Rishi Parampara, the knowledge from river Ganga, incessantly flowing. Incessantly flowing. The rishis, they have been doing contemplating in Himalayas, and they decipher that one. Many, they come down to the plains to pass on the message. Not that people who are doing meditation in Himalayas, they will disappear after their physical life. They are meditating to concentrate where they thought process. They concentrate, meditate for long period, and they want to bring down that, decipher that message to the plain. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Shri Krishna tells Uddhava, you go to Himalaya, Badrinath, you meditate and pass on my message to the rishis who are in Himalayas, in Badrinath area. They will protect this knowledge, yoga, and they will enrich the whole Bharat. That message will come. I want to take our people to place of yoga, birthplace of yoga. We come across many yogis there and get tuned to that energy. And now we are always on rush. I have to run. I have to move. I have to be move on. For example, last week I was in Kumbh Mela for 2 days. I was there. There is no time everywhere. All the time while I was in India, next program. In Kumbh Mela, time opened up. No compulsion that I have to go for lunch, I have to go for dinner, I have to sleep. It's a free time. And that freedom, that Himalaya, when you go, you won't know what day is that one, what daytime, night time. About 10 days, you have overcome the concept of time, shackles of time. So when that shackles of time you are broken, mind opens up. It becomes highly creative. You are able to tap into the higher energy from Himalayas. That is why we have been taking our students on Yatra and Himalaya many times. Muktinath we went,
and you're going this year again?
This year in June, people from America, India and Australia are coming. We are going up to 5,000 meters above sea level. In the Satopant this time, maybe we will be walking about 100 kilometers up in high altitude.
Over how many days?
It's a 10-day yatra, and in 4 days we'll be walking around 100 kilometers.
Wonderful.
And,
Wonderful.
And you hardly see any other humans. You hardly see.
So you'll be living in camps and
in the camp, and you're taking bath in the streams, fresh glacier water.
Wow.
And you hear birds singing, you see the flora, and you are one with the nature.
I hope one day I'll get a chance to.
You are now, I think I'm so important. I think without me, my yoga cannot run, my family cannot run. When you go there, you realize you're insignificant. In front of this magnanimity of God, you are insignificant.
Nothing. Yeah. Wow. Oh, I'm already inspired that hopefully one day I can participate with you on that journey. You talked about Kumbh Mela. I'm excited to ask about it. How was that experience? This is probably once in a lifetime kind of a Kumbh Mela is what we understand.
Yeah. And in the Kumbh Mela, I went there, stayed in a camp. Swamiji, I knew from Badrinath. I stayed with him. Whole night there was a bhajan. There are hundreds and thousands of camps. Uttar Pradesh government, they are allocating free land and a free structure. If anyone wants to apply, they will give a structure and and if you want to decorate your own expense, but the general skeletal structure and roof, and they provide land and electricity. But I stayed there whole night. Bhajan was there, and I went there not to sleep. I got up early morning at 1:30 to do my sadhana, and at 3:30 the Swamiji in charge, he got up and started singing "O Alasi Jagore Amrita Piyore," and still many people were sleeping. It's a Kumbh Mela is the place of Amrita. It's 4 drops dropped in. One is Prayagraj, Haridwar, Nasik, and Ujjain. This is the place drop of Amrita fell. Other Kumbh Mela in other places happens, but Mahakumbh Mela only Prayagraj. It is important in that it's a confluence of Ganga and Yamuna, and Saraswati comes out once in 12 years.
Oh, okay.
It's a Saraswati once in 12 years comes, and also Jupiter takes 12 years to do one pradakshina. That is why once in 12 years, Saraswati comes during that one. And also now it is Makara. Next month is called a Kumbha. Kumbha, in the month it comes, it's a Kumbh Mela. And sadhus across India, they come there. The sadhus are protecting our culture, tradition, heritage. Everyone is coming together. It's a spiritual capital. It becomes a spiritual capital. And it is good to be in that place and absorb the energy.
Best indeed that you got a chance to be there. My mother kind of told this to me, and I had a kind of a goosebump moment. My father passed away in 2009. And in 2010, for whatever reason, we just felt that annual ceremony that we have to do, I don't want to do it in the place that we came. I will go to Ganges. One cannot I feel that one cannot plan such things. It just happens. The place we chose was Haridwar. We said we will go to Haridwar. We contacted 1 or 2 mathas, and one of them said, yes, there is availability, please come. So we go there and we perform. There was very peaceful feeling when you perform all your, yearly things there. And we came back. At that time, I had zero idea. But now this year, when I was talking to my mom, she said, did you know that when we went to Haridwar that year, that was 2010, was Kumbh Mela in Haridwar? I was like, I had no idea. And so peacefully, we got a chance to do all our ceremonies and the Ganga Snan and all that in Haridwar at that time, which incidentally was a Kumbh Mela. So unknowingly, God made that happen. But now there is a certain amount of awareness around Kumbh Mela globally also in here. So really feel
500 million people, more than the population of America, are taking place in 45 days. The all temporary structure, it's like a city is made to accommodate more than the population of America. It is a huge effort from the government.
Absolutely commendable.
And it's commendable. 45 days, everything after 45 days, everything will be demolished.
Taken off. Amazing. So coming back from that, because this is a very once in a lifetime experience that you get to hear from people who have been there. I want to come back to what happened yesterday. So firstly, congratulations on another successful completion of the Surya Namaskara Yajna that we have been doing. There is an accomplishment, and that I'll come to that in a bit. But would you like to introduce to our viewers what it is and how did that inspiration come to you?
The Surya Namaskar we have been doing since 2008 in Melbourne. Started in beach and other places. We started doing many parks. Surya Namaskar, we started off with 108 Surya Namaskar, salutation to the Lord in the sun. The sun is Arogyat Bhaskara Ichet. Those who are aspiring for good health, long life, invoke the Lord in the sun. That is why that Gayatri Mantra is invested on the children. The Gayatri Mantra, every day do the Gayatri. Gayatri Mantra, it's for good life, long life. The sun also represents the health and long life. We started doing Surya Namaskar every day. When we started in 2008, we took about 2 hours to complete 108. We paused every 25 and take rest, start again. Yesterday we did 3 times 108, that is 324 Surya Namaskar. Each round with 16 steps. 16 steps, more than 5,184 asanas. When you add that one, it comes to again 18. It's 18 indicates victory. Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. Bhagavatam 18,000 shlokas. Mahabharata war for 18 days. 18 is 8 means ja, like kaka gaganga. 5 cha cha ja. Ja is number 8. Ya is yarala. Ya is 1. 1 and 8 is jaya. Jaya means victory. 18 indicates victory in your life. You're successful in your life. With that, we did. It is not just a physical exercise. It is you are in the yoga talks about this is the king, this is the slave. When you enable the king, body just follows, obeys the mind. You just do. You start the following the king. Initially 10, 20, you are a bit slothful. You want to take break. When this says yes, no, you have no choice but to do, you go beyond the mental limitation. And that is the sun. When you start doing that one, the source of that light, the sun enlivens the whole solar system. You connect to the higher energy, into the energy here, then abundance of energy comes. When you do that one, I could see everyone's face so glowy. All pores in your skin opens up, toxins goes out, and when the toxins goes up, you start radiating. You can feel the energy level, high energy level. You feel lightness. Most of the people who have done, they did not complain that the body was sore. And you have gone beyond your physical limitation. That is one example that not to put a limitation on your life. You have tremendous potential. Accomplish great things. And Sri Krishna talks about Udhare Atmanatmanam Natmanam Avasadayet. And the mind is the key for your success. Look after your mind. Never allow mind to become slave to your body. And accomplish great things. And Bhagavad Gita is inspiration text for all great achievers. And this Surya Namaskar is a testament, and all people who had took part in this celebration of 324 Surya Namaskar, they will get a certificate also. They can hang it up in their office or workplace or in their social media and motivate others also. You are not just the body, you have tremendous potential. Look at me, I have done 324. You also can do. You can convey this message to your children, your grandchildren also. You can tell your grandchildren also. See, when I was your age, I did this one.
and I can assure you that yesterday I also had I was fortunate enough to be a part of that. There were people, of course, there were people where you could tell our children. There were others who had come with their children, so kudos to them as well. And there were people who could tell their grandkids, because yes, there were senior citizens as well who had come. Everybody did to their capacity. Hand on heart, I can say that I did not do 324, but there were gaps that we took. You see that. But there's definitely one person who did all 324, Rajendra ji, and the pace at which it was happening. I think the first 108 happened in varied forms. First slow, then a bit fast. But the second 108 that we did, and there were no breaks here, by the way. The second 108 we did was fairly fast. What was that time? 24 minutes or less than that?
It's around 18 minutes we did 108. Ooh. And continuously I was talking also. I was talking.
Guiding.
Yeah, guiding.
And the way Rajendra ji does is there is Dwadasha Aditya, or the 12 names of sun. You chant one each and that becomes, so to say, one round. So 9 of that makes it 108, but he had the sankalpa that we'll do 27 of them, which means 324. So he would keep chanting the name and guide us through all the steps. And I want to add one more thing, Rajendra ji, correct me if I'm wrong. You had arrived from India the previous day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct? So jet lag. Okay. So all of us can relate to this. The previous day was Ekadashi as well.
Ekadashi, and 3 o'clock I arrived. At 5 o'clock I had Bhagavad Gita class. In the evening. And the next day, this one
is this. Yeah. And Ekadashi, as many of us may know, at least in the Madhva culture or the Sampradaya that we come from, we try to eat as minimal or we'll not eat at all. So imagine this situation where you have had either very little nourishment or no nourishment, then you have had a jet lag, then the next day you come without having food, you have done 324 Surya Namaskaras, and you were still fairly energetic after that. Because after the second round, you made us lie down and relax, but you are not, clearly, because you are guiding us through that. How does this happen? Where is this source of energy?
Source of when you're so inspired, and the body won't, you become unstoppable. That is what I'm trying to say. And your theme of this is Cool Karni, how you become unstoppable. What makes you to become unstoppable? This is one of the examples in the physical level, our Kulkarni ji, that's a source of, you tap into that source, you become unstoppable.
Amazing. And but then you had also talked something about the Kundalini energy that comes in.
The Kundalini means a dormant energy. Everyone, the ultimate Kulkarni means, ultimate Kulkarni means everyone has a Kundalini. Kundalini means a dormant serpent power. Serpent power is there with the head down. Everyone's energy is a downward, thinking that Arjuna first chapter, I won't fight, I won't do. I won't do. Every one of us is like Arjuna. I won't fight and I give up everything. I won't do. That's it. I will do. But when the Bhagavad Gita, it says, Arjuna's, he awakened the Kundalini, and the last Arjuna says, I have realized my potential. Nasto moha smritir labdva tvat prasadat mayachyuta. I regained my energy. I know what I am here for. I will do as you say. Most of us, head down, that's it, I can't do, I can't do. But says, when you're awake, realized, I will do, I will do. We have to. Yes. That is another dimension you have to put. Cool Karni, head down, but awaken. That energy, when it goes up, that energy, head down from Mooladhara, it starts going up through Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, you are Vishuddha, and Ajna, you are here. And when it comes here, and that is the snake has gone up there, and the Lord is so happy, he does Kaliya Mardana. He dances on the top. He is so happy. This person, he understood my message. He started dancing on the top. It's that is the
aspire to go that way. Aspire
go
for that
so
energy to
that
go up.
May Lord dance on my head. He wants Kaliya Mardana. It's a dancing Sri Krishna. That Sri Krishna is so happy when you awaken that one.
Absolutely. This is a very interesting angle, and I will urge all our viewers and listeners, of course, if you're from Melbourne, do participate in the Vasudeva Kriya Yoga, Surya Namaskaras that we do. But wherever you are, try to get into this, because it is, as a person who has experienced this multiple times, I can say that it is extremely energizing at the end of it. And I would say that please do it sooner with VKY here in Melbourne, because the way Rajendra ji is setting the bar up, maybe if you choose to do it 10 years later, it will be 1,000 at least that you have to, that Surya Namaskar is over have to do. So if you want to stick within the 300 range, please come next year.
Next year.
But on that note, I want to say that last year you did 251. And this year you stretched it to 324.
324, yeah.
Wow. And when somebody is proving it to you in front by example, there is nothing more inspiring than that, I would say. Because if you try to do it, I don't consider myself as very accomplished in this sense by any means. But when you try to do it at home, the best you can stretch is up to 20, 25, and something will set in. Like, I've done enough, whatever. But when you're doing it in a group and in the open, something happens, like there is a group, probably group energy that comes in. And 50, 55, you don't feel like stopping, you just keep going.
And for example, for audience, I am 60 running and 60 years. Never say I'm too old for yoga. It's even the teenagers, they struggle to catch up with my energy. When you awaken the energy, you go beyond the concept of I'm old. It's you feel so young and refreshed.
Absolutely. I think you talk of, I forget the term you used. There is a body age and there is the inner age. You use some term for that.
Yeah, that forgot. Yeah.
So those two ages you say, right? That you can get to know what your inner age is in a way.
In inner age.
So he's definitely more a teen in that sense. So that is evident. Okay, so coming back to Vasudeva Kriya Yoga in that sense. So now obviously you
metabolic age.
Metabolic
age and physical age.
Correct. So we should aim to know what our metabolic age is, and if the metabolic age is more than your physical age, then do something about it clearly, because it has to be younger than your physical age in a way. So Vasudeva Kriya Yoga clearly has taken those directions. You have now grown into an international organization. You have the books that are there to guide people. What do you see next? What is coming next?
I don't want to be stale and repeating the same thing. I've seen many masters, they come And if you had attended their class 10 years back and attend now, concept is the same thing they keep on repeating. And like a cassette player, they say, I feel if you're just repeating like a cassette player, there's no joy here. There should be a continuous learning should be there, continuous improvement should be there. Then only you are inspired to inspire others. If I am repeating whatever I written in page 5 of my book, so telling same thing every year, every class by class, I can tell that one in a different language, but there is no learning for me. For me, every class should be a learning for me. And in my class, I am the first student. I learn myself and I teach others.
Wow.
And I never say I'm a guru, that every class I'm a student. First student is me. I continuously learn and I share it with others.
It's a very different perspective.
Yeah.
It's a very different perspective. Thanks for sharing that.
Unless I learn, how can I inspire others?
Inspire others.
I want to stay inspired to inspire others.
We are coming to the concluding part, but I have to ask you this side of the experience as well. Clearly, we still see that in forms of, when you look at a government or the government policy, medicine or the medical system, the hospitals, etc., are still probably the primary in terms of what they consider from an insurance perspective and so on. But alternate forms of health, fitness are not that prominent, and yoga for sure is not. You see that as something that you're working towards as well, right? Is there anything you want to share on that?
That we have been lobbying with the government also to include yoga for under Medicare. Government removed that yoga from Medicare because of the lobby from medical company, pharmaceutical company. And pill is, for example, I was in Delhi airport, one person sitting next to me, and he asked me, do you have some tablet or medicine? I have splitting headache, migraine, splitting headache. Do you have any tablet? I said, I'm not a pill doctor. And I asked him to give his hand. I applied acupressure. He said, so painful, so painful. And I did for 2 minutes, and I continued to do what I was doing. After 10 minutes, I asked, what about your headache? What? He totally forgot that he had a headache. So we are quick to reach out to the medicine cabinet for small ailment. Body is such a perfect system, it can heal itself. There are some acupressure points are there, small tips are there, acupressure points, many things. For example, if you feel feverish, do Jalneti, you won't get fever. We are quick to rush to the doctor, take some paracetamol or some vaccine. Every Melbourne, 2-3 times people take vaccination, flu season, that season, this season. Body's immunity becomes very low. Body thinks, you want to interfere, okay, you interfere, I will go into hibernation. Body is such a divine mechanism, it can heal itself. It can heal. In the minimal intervention, yoga talks about small pressure points, small acupressure points. You can look after yourself. It's not you learn that one. Otherwise, as I said in the early days in my childhood, every day I was going to somebody to apply massage here, massage. I want to be independent as like you said, your mother. She wants to be as independent as she can, as long as she wants to. I also, and I urge everyone, try to be as independent as you can, try to be as less burden to others as you can. That is ahimsa. Ahimsa means it's one of the foundations of yoga, not to be a burden to others. If you are leaning on your family, you are leaning on government system, healthcare system, you are a burden. That is ahimsa. Not to become a burden to others. Invest time onto yourself, look after yourself, and contribute to others. Australia spends nearly $200 billion, about 20% of its overall budget on healthcare. Healthcare, it's a medicine care. Medicine care, they are only hospital system. They are thinking that only way out is a hospital system. On the other token, if the government spends on prevention better than cure, yoga, promote this one, wellness, encourage people to look after themselves, lifestyle changes, it will be a value addition. Their overall health budget will reduce. Rather, this amount they can invest on future projects. I urge the government authorities to take note of this one. Prevention is better than cure. Yoga is not an alternative, it's a must for the wellness of individual, family, community, and global care.
Fantastic. And that is indeed a very noble point. And I would want to urge all our viewers to think on and reflect upon this wherever you are in the world, because as you rightly said, this should not be only about giving care when it is needed most. And I'm sure there are instances, and all of us have experiences where you need that immediate attention. So it's nothing against the way the medical system is right now. But by the same token, please don't ignore the fact that if something is trying to keep you fit, there should at least be some brownie points, or you recognize that if people are naturally trying to be fit, then reward them in some way. It should at least start in that sense.
Yes, hospital systems are needed in case of breakdowns, and yes, they're needed, but not to overburden. All over the globe, the hospital system is overburdened. Health budget across the world, it's overstretched. They can't cater. They're so focused on the catering the overburdened system. It's a prevention, helps in reducing the load on the healthcare system, and there is a this must go. Yes, you have to do your part. If by chance breakdown happens, yes, hospital systems are there, but not to disown your responsibility. You have a responsibility to look after yourself.
Look after yourself, absolutely. So I think we are coming to the absolute conclusion of our part, Rajendra ji, and I think throughout the podcast you have shared a lot of useful tidbits. But in conclusion, is there something you want to share to our viewers?
In conclusion, as I said, your health is the top priority, and the top priority, everyone is a lone traveler. I may have 10 children, a big family, big social circle. Sooner or later, everyone realizes health is the best gift they have. And in the evening time of your life, everyone feels alone. How to spend quality time in your evening time of your life? Yoga practice adds quality years to your life. Yoga practice helps in recovering lost years in your life. Never too late. Please embark on this journey. Dhanyavad.
Thank you. Thank you so very much to our viewers. In conclusion, I can surely say that this is amongst the most energetic 60-year-olds that I have met. Probably from your experiences also, you may agree. We'll be bringing some similar cool Karni stories with this new definition that Rajendra ji has given us. So until then, this is your host and host, Sanjeev Kulkarni, signing off. See you all soon.
Dhanyavad.
Thank you.